menu in his hand, walking through the streets.
Live from the Tiger Studios in Easley, South Carolina, it's the JoJo Cool Football Pick Show, week number 8, with your host and star of our show, JoJo Cool, and her co-host, Outlaw Jimmy James. Our guest picker today is Big Money Zach Howard. Here's JoJo. Outlaw, what you doing?
Man, take your mask off.
I figure since you guys had your mask on, I put mine on too.
Oh, good.
That was scary.
And welcome everyone to the JoJo Cool Football Pick Show.
Put your mask back on, please.
Outlaw Jimmy James here. Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! What we got, JoJo? Let's start out with some good stories. We got some good stuff. Yep, I want to start off with that one.
Okay. There's a viral video and picture going around of Kirby Smart pushing a Mississippi State player, quarterback.
When I first saw that, I thought Kirby Smart was being a jerk. I thought he was being a real butt. But if you look at it, now not defending him, but if you look at it, he did not even see the player. He was looking at the referee. He was pushing whoever on the Georgia side out of the way. But he shouldn't put his hands on anybody at all. I don't think he meant anything towards the Mississippi State player. And I got to hand the Mississippi State player. He handled that well. He did not try to confront him. Did not say anything back to him. He shrugged it off because he realized he wasn't doing it towards him, but he was still wrong. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe it was just the heat of the moment type thing.
Yeah. Well, either way is wrong. I mean, he shouldn't. He don't need to put his hands on the players, his players, or his coaches. But he did. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of thought that it was like you said. I thought that it was uncalled for at first, but then when I went back and watched it, it was just an adrenaline thing going after the ref, and he just happened to be wrong place, wrong time.
Exactly.
But I agree with you. You go back to what, the 1979 Gator Bowl, 1989 Gator Bowl, something around in there, when Woody Hayes punched the Clemson player.
Charlie Bowman, a friend of mine.
He was fired, if I'm not mistaken. I know that was years ago, but that's a totally different incident. But he still put his hands on a player.
Well, and we were discussing that earlier today about the Woody Hayes incident. I think if Woody hadn't attacked the cameraman the week before, he might not have got fired, because that was 2 incidents 2 weeks in a row, and I think that's what got him fired. They say it's a different culture in the SEC in Georgia. I guess it is, but like I say, still shouldn't put your hands on. I like Kirby, but he shouldn't have done that. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he should have done that either, even if it was like a heat of the moment and didn't know what he was doing.
But you talk to Charlie Bowman, the player that Woody Hayes hit, he don't want to talk about that incident. You ask him about it, he will not talk about it. He says over and done with. Woody was Woody. Woody was set in his ways. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to put the man down. Now, Woody Hayes, you got to admit, was a good disciplinary coach. He had some great teams, but he let that anger in his older age get to him. I think he had some health issues and that caused all that. But different era, different times, but still, that's my opinion. What do you think? What else we got, Jason?
I wasn't alive then, so.
Yeah, I wasn't either. So
I was there. All right, JoJo, what you got?
Ryan Day is 1-7 versus AP top 5 wins.
And I love it. I love it.
Do you think he's on the hot seat since he can't
Well,
win big games?
I don't know.
If he doesn't, because he's in the playoff every year.
And he's making money.
He's making money. If he doesn't beat Michigan this year, yes.
He will beat Michigan.
Especially, I agree with that. Especially as bad as Michigan's been. But yes, I agree. If he loses again to Michigan, yes, I think he's gone.
If he loses
Michigan,
yeah.
Somebody is going to pick him up like that, I believe. They're talking about Lincoln Riley. And I know we'll probably get to that in a minute, being on the hot seat. I don't see that. I don't see Brent Venables being on the hot seat. Exactly.
Well, they're talking about the coach of Carolina being on the hot seat. They need to leave him alone. He's got something turning around down there. I hate to say it, but he's turning them around. But like I said, Ryan Day, I'm not a big fan of his, but he's got a winning program year after year. He's in the playoffs year after year, making money, tons of money for the school. They will be in the playoffs. They will probably advance after the first round. I don't know if they'll be able to The way I'm looking at it right now, I got them possibly facing Texas. The way it is right now. And I think Texas will beat them, but I don't know. Ohio State, they had an off game, which I'm glad. Oregon won. But they got some athletes.
Yep.
They got some real good athletes.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of athletes, I'm going to jump in there on this. What about BYU as a prize team of the NCAA right now? I mean, they are whipping some butts, and they got a big, nasty offensive line causing it. I mean,
Army and Navy too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Ranked in the top 25 for the first time since 1960. Do you know
Wow.
that? I'm glad we brought this up. Do you know that they could play each other 2 weeks
Yeah.
in a row?
Sure could.
They could play for the conference championship, and then Army Navy week, and then the winner of that, if they keep winning, could be in the college football playoff.
Yeah. Yeah, they could.
I'd like to see it.
They could play 2 weeks in a row. I would say, I'm pulling for Army though, but I'd like to see it. That's a strong possibility. I mean, they're both doing well. All right, JoJo Cool, what's up?
What do you think was going through Will Howard's mind when he slid down for the Ohio State last time?
I think he got confused and he thought he had more time on the clock than what he did. He thought he was
I
going to
loved
slide and it stopped.
I listen to a sports radio talk show pretty much all day while I'm at work, and if you remember the penalty that Oregon had, the 12 men on the field, that's not a dead ball foul. That's not a dead ball penalty. So the clock keeps running.
Yeah.
It don't stop. And I think that was in his mind. Well, what he was thinking, I've got one timeout left. I'm gonna go. And there's controversy up now. I don't know if y'all seen this, but in college football,
Timeout on the play.
yes, but in college football, it's supposed to stop where you start your slide.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a controversy picture out there.
1 second.
There's 1 second left, and if they would have had the chance to kick the field goal, they probably would have beat Oregon.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But I think he slid because he thought he had more time.
But
than what
he
did.
is, man, ain't no telling how he's feeling right now. I'm sure they'll get another shot at him.
Oh, they
in the
will.
championship game.
Probably championship game, yeah. That'll be
Yeah,
good too.
yeah.
All right.
There was an Oregon guy who got ejected for spitting. That's
Yeah.
like twice so far this year that I know of.
I think he should be suspended.
Yep.
I really do.
That's
Think all-
one thing when you throw a punch, but when you spit on somebody, that's just uncalled for.
Yeah,
in life.
it's ridiculous.
I'd rather get punched
I would
than
too.
spit on them.
He needs to be suspended. He needs to have his, possibly his, what do you call that?
NIL?
Have that suspended. I
No.
think he should have. his-
Fine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think he should have his eligibility for the school suspended and show him. I mean, we need to teach these guys. It's ridiculous. All right.
How about Ole Miss LSU? LSU never led in that game until the very end.
Love it.
Thought
LSU
about
Tigers
you,
won.
outlaw. I thought about you.
I love
I
it.
tried to stay up and watch the rest of it, but I ended up falling asleep. But I was pulling for LSU,
Yep.
and they did you see Ole Miss fell out of the top 25 completely?
I cannot believe that. I saw that.
They were number 9 and fell out. I
Oh.
guess because they had lost to Kentucky. And
Yeah.
as far as I know, I looked once or twice and never did see them unless it's.
Yeah, we have to look at
You know.
you. I didn't see them, so I don't know if it's a misprint or what. But yeah,
But
they fell all the way out.
good win there by LSU.
Yes, it was.
Good win by LSU.
I was afraid they weren't going to do it because Ole Miss looked stronger.
And he
Yeah.
said they're done, stick a fork in them. He wanted to turn it.
Yeah, but we didn't. Thank God, and I'm glad. And after my team won, JoJo Cool's chin. Archer.
I was mad.
I love it. What else?
Did you know they had Ole Miss has had at least 29, if not more, injury timeouts during the past 3 games?
They're thinking.
That's
they're
what
being-
I was.
They're being investigated, and I love it. Reese Davis was ticked off on game day. It's ridiculous. They shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Ole Miss said, "Well, we're investigating," but so is the NCAA. I mean, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
A lot of the SEC schools do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you're this phenomenon or whatever when it comes to
Female,
football.
yeah.
football picks, but you remember the 2012 Chick-fil-A Bowl
Yep.
when Clemson played LSU?
Yep.
I was there,
We were.
and I'm assuming you were into football then,
Yep.
like you are now. But LSU was doing that.
Yeah, they were.
Well, if you listen to Les Miles' post-game press conference, he said, I understand what they were saying. I understand what they were doing. But I looked at a defense that played 50, 60 snaps to our defense that played over 100 snaps. So I honestly believe they were some cramping up.
Yeah.
Because they were in there for over 100 snaps.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that situation brought me back to that game. But yeah, I mean, Ole Miss is doing it just about every play. Just about every play. And it makes me not like Lane Kiffin even more because he's just dirty in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Talking about JoJo being in football, she's been in since she was an infant. I can remember holding her in my lap, along with her uncle. He'd hold her in the lap while she was an infant, watching football, and she was just jumping like that, just an infant, you know. And as she grew older, I started taking her to the Panther games at 5 years old, and she just fell in love with it. She said she couldn't believe how big the crowd was. And I was working security for Clemson at the time. So she said, Dad, can I come? And I said, well, if you think the crowd's big, wait till you say Clemson. Will you take me to a game? Yes, I will. So since 1995, we've been going games and doing games. So that's how long she's been in, you know, ever since she's born, she's been in football. So
Awesome.
studying it, watching it, just, you know, living it, bleeding it. So she loves it. So that's one cool chick right there. All right.
We're hopping in from the engineers, but you remember when she was like 3 or 4? You'd show her a picture of a football helmet. She could tell you who they were.
Oh yeah, she could.
And stuff about the team.
I forgot about that. She knew the team. She knew the helmets. I mean, it was amazing. 3 and 4 years old, she knew it. And her first Clemson game she saw, she just fell madly in love with it. Went to school there, and I mean, she had loved it. We've gone to home and away games, bowl games, and I don't get to go to as many as I want to with you like I used to, but we're still getting to go do a lot of them and work them. And I didn't get to work with her this past weekend through the entry. Not sure if I get to work next couple, but hopefully soon. So we'll see. But she did great by herself. All right. What else you got?
A surprising tough game was Florida Tennessee.
Oh,
yeah,
that was
man.
closer than
Yeah.
I thought it would be.
Yes, it was. It was tough.
I figured Tennessee would put up a little bit more against them.
I did too, but Florida was after them. They were.
Yep.
They were.
Yep. That. In a situation like that, games on the line, I'd go for 2
Oh yeah. I would
to
too.
try to win it.
You got nothing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to lose, and excited to see what I've been a DJ Lagway fan since I heard him come out of high school. But
Yeah.
excited to see what he does the rest of the year. Graham Mertz is out for the entire season, so it's DJ Lagway's time to shine. We'll
Oh,
see
yeah.
if he can turn Florida season around.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna change my name to DJ Wasabi. All right. What you got?
Since he wanted to, I guess we could talk about USC and Penn State. Penn State didn't lead in that game either until
No.
the end.
And it just blew my mind. I was hoping Southern Cal would win that. I was really hoping, but I kind of like Penn State a little bit, but I was
They're
hoping
going to get knocked off.
Southern Cal would get them.
They do every year.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was pulling for USC because I'm a big Lincoln Riley fan, but I was hoping they was going to beat Penn State.
The real USC.
I
Yeah.
picked them too.
Yeah, the real USC, the original USC.
Yep. And the real Carolina's in North
Yes.
Carolina.
Yep.
So, all right. Well,
Let's
Sorry,
switch
Lee.
to the other USC. They almost beat Alabama.
my opinion,
They got that onside at the end and then blew it.
to be unpopular, Carolina should have won.
If they didn't have those 4 turnovers,
Yep.
they could have won.
They should have won.
We went to the Wake Forest game, and I was actually watching it walking out of the stadium, and I was looking. I thought, man, Carolina's got the ball back because I wouldn't have lost any sleep if Carolina would have beat Alabama.
Yeah.
But
I kind of feel sorry for
yeah, I do too. Yeah, but when they fumbled that ball, I knew then it was over.
Oh, yeah.
And then the quarterback, all you got to do is get in field goal range and try to kick a field goal because their field goal kicker's money.
them. Yeah.
So.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
But just Carolina showed out this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
They showed out this past weekend. I personally think they're going, and I know we'll probably get to it here in just a minute, but I personally think they're going to beat Oklahoma.
Yeah,
This week.
they could.
I think they're going to beat Oklahoma this weekend.
I think they're going to be scary against Clemson.
I do too.
They will be very scary. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You was at the Wake Forest game, and when they drove down that opening drive,
Oh
Sure.
man, let me tell you,
I was scared to death.
Yeah, me and my dad and my sister, we were there, and
I was wondering what was going through your mind.
yeah, we were there, and beautiful campus. If you've never been, it's a beautiful, beautiful campus, beautiful stadium. Everybody's nice, and but when they drove down the field and scored, I said, we're fixing to see what Clemson's made of right here.
Yeah, yeah,
And then they just come, because I think they come back out and went 3 and out.
yeah.
And then the following possessions when Wake Forest threw the interception. And then when Clemson scored, I knew it was on from there.
They scored 28 points in the
Oh,
second
second
quarter.
quarter.
Yeah.
Unanswered.
Unanswered, that's wild.
So, you know, it was nerve wracking for sure.
It was a fun weekend for me, except for Sunday when the Saints got destroyed. But it was a fun weekend for football.
Yeah.
It was. Saints were leading too.
Yeah, we were eating lunch and I heard the crowd cheering. I go over there and Spencer Rattler's cheering. And so I ended up falling asleep on the recliner, come back out, so I'm gonna check the Saints scored. I could not believe what had happened.
Got dismantled. It's unreal.
Man, by Baker Mayfield too.
And that's a Gamecock leading them, so Lee. Right? Lee's gonna hit me one day. Right?
Clemson's 16-0 versus Wake Forest.
Over the how many last years?
This past 16
Yeah.
or so. How many
Yeah.
consecutive?
The last loss is the 2008
That's right.
when Dabo Swinney took over
That's
as
right.
head coach. Was interim coach.
Yep.
It was his anniversary.
And yesterday.
Sure was,
yesterday. So, and I'm all in, you know,
Right.
so I'm all in and so, but yeah, it was back in 2008, but there'll never be a play like the games Adams played in 2006.
Oh wow, I remember that. Yeah.
I was listening to it.
Yeah.
And that's what changed the game around. And
Purple pants, white jersey.
yeah,
and ours
that was always the uniform up there.
Yeah.
Always the uniform
I
up.
can remember that. I mean, that played well.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He was a good player.
Yes, he was.
All right.
How about a game that you didn't get to go see? Georgia versus Mississippi State.
Yeah, I watched that. I mean, Mississippi State played them pretty tough there for a while.
I had to stay till the last like 3 or 4 minutes because I was like, this game's too close. But once they scored that last touchdown, I was like, nah, I'll leave. They got it.
And Carson Beck threw for over 400 yards.
Yeah.
459 with 3
And
touchdowns.
Carson's not playing the best football either. I mean, last year and the year before, he was his best football, but right now he's not.
No.
He's got different cast around him, so it's harder. Tell us about the movie, or the TV show that was filmed down there.
I don't know what it's called, but Glenn Powell was going to be in it. It's going to be on Hulu, and they were like this fake football team, and they told you to stay in the stands at halftime and just boo them. So that was pretty cool.
Glenn Powell's in it, related to Glenn Ford.
I don't know who Glenn Ford is.
He's the actor that Barney Fife loved on Andy Griffith. He tried to imitate him a lot on TV.
Mm.
Okay.
I wish I knew who he was talking about. I'd have put my 2 cents in. But
You never watch Andy Griffith?
I've watched Andy Griffith, yeah.
You have watched, so you don't watch it. Are you an American?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I wonder.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is the best TV show ever created.
No. Come on, watch Andy Griffith. You'll change your mind. Especially Barney. All right?
Yeah.
All right?
What kind of games y'all want to talk about next?
Whatever you want to talk about, what you got?
How about Texas?
Go home.
Wayne Heroes came back.
Yeah. And he struggled,
Mm-hmm.
but he did okay. Has some rust on him, I guess. But what do you think?
Yeah, it was neck and neck there at first, but what turned it around was the fumble recovery in the end zone for
Yep.
Texas.
Yep.
And they just, the last 2 times Texas has won, that's the way it's been in blowout fashion.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'll never forget a couple of years ago when me and my buddy Zach, we was getting ready to go to the NC State Clemson game when game day was there and it was top 10 matchup. We was sitting there watching it. We could not believe it. Because I think this is Brent's 3rd year.
Yeah.
And we could not believe it. They just blew Oklahoma out.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was this year. But Oklahoma don't have an offense. First year didn't have a defense. He had offense, defense last year. Now he don't have an offense.
Yeah.
So we'll see we'll see how the year goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But this weekend I'm definitely pulling for the Longhorns, so we'll get to that in a minute.
Georgia, huh?
Yeah.
I know who she's pulling for. Georgia. Well, you like Texas too.
Yeah, Texas
Oh,
shirt
okay.
on.
All right. Well, I got Leonard Skinner on. I felt like music today. All right. I'm the only oddball.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to think, is there any more notable games this past weekend?
Just
Boise
BYU.
State's running back's tearing it up.
Oh, he is.
He's tearing it up, and
UNLV's there too. I mean, he's
yeah,
oh,
Syracuse is
A
5-1.
sneaky
Yeah.
team, Iowa State.
Yeah, they're sneaking up on everybody.
Yep.
They
It's
jumped us.
It's going. Yeah, they did. And I think it's in the Big 12 it's going to be Iowa State versus BYU for the title.
Not Utah? Oh, like they just got kicked out.
They just got whipped. Yeah, they just got whipped. They shouldn't have.
Which
It shocked me. The BYU is really strong right now. That line is nasty.
Kansas State looks pretty good.
They look decent. Yeah, they sure
Kansas
do.
State looks pretty good.
They
The
do.
big disappointment for me in the Big 12.
But BYU beat them.
Yeah. The big disappointment for me in the Big 12 is Kansas
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Their quarterback and their team usually on top, but I think they lost their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with it. But Jaden Daniels, I believe, is the quarterback. And no, it's not. Is it Jaden Daniels?
No, what's his name?
Jaden Daniels was at
Kansas.
LSU last year. Jaden something.
I can't remember his name now. Yeah.
But he's good. I mean, but he's been struggling this year. But yeah, that's and Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech, North Carolina was neck and neck.
Yeah.
North Carolina had it won and gave up a 54-yard rush to the Georgia Tech running back.
You think
Jamal
Max?
Haynes.
You think Max on a hot seat?
I think Max retiring after this year. I think it's going to be mutual agreement. I really do. I was thinking too that it was going to be like a Spurrier type thing where
Right.
he quits in the middle of the year.
Right.
But no, I think at the end of the year he's gone. He's just going to call it quits, and it's time. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it's time.
it's passed him by. It really has. And
When you've got two NFL quarterbacks like Sam Howell, especially Drake May, and you can't do anything with them, it's time to go.
yeah, he's done a lot for that university. So, I mean, he should go out with his head high. I really should. And talk about the Big 12, really, I'm glad to see Colorado losing.
My dad is too, man. Of course, my dad knew that. Y'all remember when Deion Sanders played football? I don't, but my dad said
I can't stand him.
my dad cannot stand him. My father-in-law loves him.
I don't like him. I don't like Shador, and I don't like the other guy. What's his name? Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I don't like him either. I mean, he's just cocky attitude.
Well, now I will say, in his defense, he's the best player in college football right now.
Right now, yeah, but and I like seeing what's his other son's name?
Shiloh.
Shiloh. I like seeing him get worked over. I mean, he had a bonehead play, and his dad didn't like it. So I love it.
Mm-hmm. That was
so-
nice.
Yep.
I fell asleep in the middle of that one, so.
yeah.
Well, you got in late last Saturday. We stayed up and watched more football.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was about 2:30 before we even got to sleep most of it. So yeah, we had a day full of football. But let me tell you a story, everybody out there. Not everybody heard this story. I was here by myself watching football, wrestling on foot, rehabbing. Got bored because it got dark, so I was going to go outside and see the comet. Went out there and looked forever, hobbling around. I know the audience is going to laugh when I tell this. Couldn't see the comet, so I decided to come back in, hobbled to the front porch. As soon as I got to the stoop, there was a skunk on the porch. I stopped it. It was dirty. I mean, it looked like it had been digging or fighting or something. It was bushy. I didn't know what else to do, so I said, "What are you doing?" Just like that. The skunk looked up at me. I looked at it. It turned around. I said, "Oh God, here we go." I read. I knew I was going to get shot. I couldn't run, so I braced for it.
Okay.
It looked at me one more time and walked off slow.
Okay.
Thank God.
Just seeing, just picturing you hobbling out there
Yeah.
with me is the funniest thing. Man.
I could not. There's no way I could have run. I mean,
There. Speaking of skunk, kind of off top, but there was a driver today who said one of our drivers at work said that he run over a skunk
oh, this
and
thing.
said when you run over a skunk,
He sprays.
at smells everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but I can only imagine the look on your face. No, please don't.
I
Please
was
don't.
supposed to meet to that pumpkin as that skunk, and I said, "Oh God, here we go." I braced for it, but
He
Thank
didn't
God.
take me a picture.
I didn't have time. I mean, it's just, and I was shocked, and he was shocked too. I think he thought to himself, "This man is crazy." So, I mean, our grandfather used to do that to us when we were younger. He'd walk up behind, "What are you doing?" Just scared, And that's the only thing I could think of, and I did it to the skunk. I guess he thought I was nuts or drunk or something. But I know a friend of mine, Pam Morris, probably laughing when she sees that. All right, what else we got?
Well, as of right now, there are 12 unbeaten teams left.
Who are they?
Who are they?
You don't know?
Let's see. Let's count them all together. BYU, Pitt, Iowa State,
Texas,
Texas. Did I say Oregon?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Who else?
What we got?
I don't know.
Someone needs a little bit up on my phone.
I don't know. There's a lot of them. It was Mr. Big Money can look it up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Six more.
It should be in the top 20.
Smaller schools, and I'm trying to think who it is. Liberty,
Liberty, Navy, Army.
Navy and Army. Yeah.
You about go.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here trying to look.
Iowa State.
that one.
Okay.
All right, so we've got Texas at 6-0, Oregon 6-0, Penn State 6-0, Miami 6-0,
I forgot about them.
Iowa State
Five.
6-0, BYU 6-0, Indiana 6-0,
Oh, well, that's a shocker there.
Pitt 6-0, Army 6-0, Navy 5-0. Is that the 12?
That's 10 right there.
That's 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indiana and BYU. I mean,
Is
that's
that Liberty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not in top 25,
Mm.
but
They should be. All right.
Yeah.
So what we got now, Miss JoJo Cool female phenom?
I had one pretty cool line in the bag play.
All right.
Trey Harris for Ole Miss caught like a touchdown pass in between the LSU guy's arm.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
Yeah, I've
amazing.
seen that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it kind of got me excited, but I shouldn't have. Yeah, I kind of but I wasn't pulling for him. But it was great. It was a good catch.
And then he ended up not coming in the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He was out the rest of the game.
He went out with a bang.
Yeah.
All right. I guess everybody notices our set too. It's Halloween set. So.
This is Outlaw right here.
With the gold.
And about, yeah, you ought to see this house. It echoes when you talk in here.
I told
But
you.
I'm big money.
I told you, it's just a cottage. All right. And got anything else for us?
I think that's about it.
Well,
This
let's pick some games.
week. All right. Oklahoma State and your BYU.
You two go first, and I'll tell you who I got.
BYU.
BYU.
Oklahoma State's been struggling.
BYU's line will eat them up.
Where's it at?
BYU.
Yes, sir.
And I want to go to a game there one year. And I already told her we're going to save it, and we're going to go to Provo, and we're going to watch a game there. Drive on into Salt Lake City, maybe watch Utah play one game. But I've been to Utah before. You have too. It's a beautiful, beautiful
Really?
state. Yeah,
I've always
it
wanted to
is
go out.
gorgeous. I know.
Have you been to a game there?
No, not a game.
Okay,
I
but
want to.
you've
We've
been
had
to
shirts
Utah.
sent to us, but you know the song "America the Beautiful." They talk
Yeah.
about Purple Mountains Majesty. We saw them out there.
Wow.
It was beautiful. I mean, God, it was.
See, I
beautiful.
want to go to Oregon. I like to
I
go to
do too. I
Oregon.
want to go there myself.
Yeah.
And Washington. All right. What else?
Virginia and Clemson.
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 Yeah.
Clemson will probably beat Tony Elliott pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's coming home, but yeah,
But Tony Elliott's doing good.
he is. He really is. Yeah.
Doing good.
Miami versus Louisville.
Miami.
I think you're going to struggle a little bit.
I think Louisville's going to upset them.
Ooh.
Because it's in Louisville. I
Yeah.
think Louisville's going to upset them. I think
I want to go to the game there too.
this is just my opinion. Don't throw your pen at me. I think Cam Ward's overrated. And the reason why, he struggles.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him, Miami would probably win 2 or 3 ball games. I'm ready for Clemson to play in the ACC championship.
Oh yeah, and I hope Clemson just wears them out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tired of hearing about him, how good he is. I think Louisville's going to beat him this week.
I think Miami's going to get lucky and beat them by like 3.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I mean, they're gonna win. But. All right.
Nebraska and Indiana. That's going to be a tough game right there.
I hope Nebraska wins, but I think Indiana got
I
it.
think Indiana remains undefeated and beats them.
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. I think they're going to get lucky.
Indiana and Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Nebraska, as they said on Simpsons.
Yeah.
Nebraska. All right.
Alabama, Tennessee.
That's a toss.
Now, both of these teams, this game was looking very, very more interesting 2 weeks ago. This game's up in the air
Yeah, it is.
now. I don't think Nico
Tennessee.
I don't think Nico can. Yes, at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Nico can drive the ball down the field. I think when he faces adversity, it's hard for him to drive the ball down the field. So I think Alabama's going to come in and win.
I think they'll bounce back and win too. Alabama.
Yep.
I hope not, but I think.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Tennessee, but
If Tennessee wins, hopefully they'll knock them out of the playoff.
Yeah, they will. I mean,
But
somebody's
I'm
going to knock
picking
Tennessee out.
Alabama.
yeah,
I got Alabama on that one.
Tennessee better watch out for Vanderbilt later on.
yep.
All right.
Notre Dame and Georgia Tech.
Notre Dame.
It's in the
It's a
Benz
tough one.
in Atlanta. But I just think Notre Dame's going to have too much for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech will score some points, but I just think Notre Dame's going to have too much for them. I'm going with the Irish.
Yep, I got Notre Dame as well. Michigan and Illinois.
Illinois.
Michigan can't cheat this year like they did last year.
Yep.
LSU versus Arkansas.
Ooh, and that's at Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas, and I hate to say it, but Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas's playing good ball now. I think just because of where it's at, I think the home team wins here. I'm going with the Hogs.
Hard to beat the Hogs at home.
I believe in LSU.
All
That's
right.
a first for me.
I hope
Arkansas
you're right.
could have a hangover from the Tennessee win.
I hope you're right. I hope they win.
Now the big game of the week. Georgia versus Texas.
At Texas.
Go Horns.
I've been saying this all season. Georgia's going to lose to Texas, so I'm still picking Texas.
Yeah. I think Texas is going to be too much for them.
Horns. I was wondering who's that coming down the track, the Mean Machine, the red and black?
Ain't nothing finer in the land.
Then the
but a
drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
Did you
Go Dogs. Give me Texas.
Did you see that when Pat McAfee?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I loved that. He gets that crowd going. And we
And
got
I mean,
to
they were all thinking it was going to be Georgia. Give me Alabama.
we got to meet him. He's cool as crap. All of them.
Yeah.
He's funny as crap.
You know, he was a commentator on
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw.
He talks about that on his podcast and show, and he, on the game day too. He talks about being on WWE.
And Joe Testator
Yeah.
is on Raw, and it does college on Saturday.
I love it. It's funny.
It's pretty funny.
It is funny. All right.
South Carolina and Oklahoma. I got South Carolina.
Yeah, I think South Carolina is going to get this one, and I hate to say it, but for my South Carolina friends, I do think that South Carolina is going to pull the upset. I think they're going to have just enough. I think they're ticked off because of how the last 2 weeks went.
Mm-hmm.
They were that close against Alabama, and I called that last week. I didn't think Carolina would play that close. I thought they'd make it a game, but I think Carolina's going to walk into Norman and win. I really do.
Well,
You're going the opposite,
now,
aren't you?
we saw Oklahoma against Auburn, and they struggled with Auburn big time. Auburn should have won.
And Auburn's a bad football.
Auburn's a bad football team. Brent Venables got some athletes, but they don't know how to use them, I think. South Carolina has looked strong. A lot of people think they're not as good as they are.
Yeah.
South Carolina's better than what people think. I hate to say it. Lee, you're going to love it. Give me Carolina.
Yeah.
Kentucky versus Florida.
Oh, the battle, but nobody wants to
Where's
win.
it at? Do you know?
Florida.
DJ Lagway's first start. I think the fans are going to be behind him in this game. Because I'm a Billy Napier fan.
Mm-hmm.
I
Good
think
job.
this game and DJ Lagway saves Billy Napier's job. I think they roll against Kentucky. I really do.
I've been picking against Florida. I'm picking Florida this week.
Yeah, I think they roll against Kentucky. Because DJ Lagway looked good last week.
Bluegrass music's from Kentucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good bourbon from Kentucky too, right? I like Gator Bites. Give me Florida.
Yeah, Saskatoon's got some good Gator Bites.
Love me some good Gator.
I miss Blue Ribbon.
I do too. I wish they'd open back up, man.
That was a good one.
Never went there, and I've lived in Easley.
Man, it was good. Oh, it was close to being real Cajun, but it was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Southern Cal and Maryland.
Oh man.
We were scheduled to
I'm
go.
thinking Maryland.
We were scheduled to go to that game, but things came up. My injury, things came up for you. We're not going to get to make it.
That sucks.
Sad to say, yeah.
So you going against your team and going to pick Maryland?
I'm going with Southern Cal,
Yeah, I think Southern Cal bounces back, beats Maryland.
and I want to see that one.
I would love to watch.
I want to see that on TV, but since we can't see in person like we were scheduled, but we're going to see them soon. We're going to see them.
Hopefully they are.
Yeah, we'll see them. All right. That's it, isn't it? That's all I picked. All
That's
right.
it.
Well, JoJo, cool. Talk about a sponsor. Let's get out of here.
We'd like to thank Super Dave with Life FM, David Garrett, Lone Wolf Customs, Engraving Hats, Business Cards, Challenge Coins, and more.
Robbie Raines
And the Smoke Box for all your barbecue needs.
with J.C. Gray, which is Jonas Gray and his wife Destiny. Man, that's some good food. I know you want some more of it because you've been
Oh
telling me
yes.
about that.
Oh yes.
How about them tacos? You want some more of them? But you said Taco Bell's better, so that's why.
Well, apparently I don't get none tonight because I ate too much last week.
No,
So,
when the
Taco Bell, winter tacos, and turkey
you heard that? Yeah. He didn't eat 2 minutes, but we know that. We got to
Outlaw your
pizza or something.
your MO computers outside right now.
We're stuck with too, so I don't think we'll see y'all later.
See y'all.